I am Robert Beal, and you are watching an episode of the Bealcast. It's my podcast. I am a loan officer here in Kansas City, but instead of talking about mortgages all the time, I like to meet with cool people. So today, we are very fortunate that Dulcinea Herrera has given up the space here for us in Cafe Corazon for us to shoot this. And so I've got first time on the podcast, Tay Dreamin.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Yeah?
I can't complain.
Yeah?
Just happy to be alive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think it would make a difference if you did complain?
I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah?
it would change my perspective on everything.
Change your perspective.
Yeah,
That's a really insightful answer for somebody half my age. Okay, all right. And then I've got front of the Bealcast. This is your second time on, Malek Azareal. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Hell yeah.
So let me ask you, like, in terms of leading up to this episode versus the last time you were on, feel any different about it? Little anxiety, more at peace, like, you know?
I am so comfortable. It's crazy.
Okay.
Like, I'm way
You
more
are
comfortable.
in a hoodie. So
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
This
Yeah.
is like what I wear on an everyday. I just feel like I don't have to put on anything
In July.
crazy. Yeah. Year
Okay.
round.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I feel like I am sweating like an idiot, and it's like you're asking for it, but that's cool, man.
No, I'm just really cool.
Okay. So you guys know you're absolutely
Keeps
right.
your temperature lower.
That's fair.
I just wanted to say that so I could be cool, but yeah, no, that's a lie. But
That's pretty badass. I set you up, to be honest. Okay, so you guys have a show coming up, right?
yes.
Okay,
We
so
do.
just a kind of little backstory. Tay Dreamin and Malek you guys are musicians, and so why don't you tell me what you have coming up?
So I have a show with Malik on August 2nd, and I really wanted to create a show that had a theme around it. So I've been building out this space astronaut character and kind of built a set list around that vibe too, because it's kind of how I perceive my music, to be like floaty and dreamlike. And
Yeah.
I wanted to make a really cohesive show. And I love Malik and his music and getting to work with him. So I invited him to be a part of the bill. And
Excellent.
We're kind of building it out on that front. It's with one more of my friends as well, but it's going down on August 2nd
Okay.
at Minibar. And
Okay.
I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, and
It's-
so I mean, so you're basically going to do like a prog rock show, right? You've got like a whole theme and everything. So
Yeah,
so
for
tell
the
me what
most
the.
part.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for people that are going
Yeah.
to come out on the second, but you want to kind of set the stage a little bit for it?
Yeah, I mean, so at least the way I see it playing out is we're kind of building up through the night into an experience. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to take people through a journey through space necessarily, but I want to kind of encapsulate that in music form a bit. I'm a little obsessed with space, and I tried to kind of build that into my music
Yeah.
and attach things that I like into my music that's not just
Yeah.
about it. So
Because music's not just like an oral, like audio experience, right? It engages like
it can be a
the
visual
senses.
thing
Yeah.
too. I mean, especially nowadays with how things are done. So I just kind of wanted to. I honestly wanted to just try my hand at like putting together like a cohesive show, experiential kind of thing. I've never done one before, so
Yeah, neither have Danny and I, and that's what we're doing right now. So
Yeah,
so that's
there
kind
you
of
go.
badass. That's cool.
yeah,
I think
it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think you should be you should be audacious in the things that you do. And so, okay, so to this point, Malek, like, how's the summer been for you? Have you been playing? Have you been writing? What have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. So this year a goal was festivals, doing as many festivals as possible. So we were able to do like 3 festival, like Kansas City festivals. So we did Boulevardia, Pride, and Manifest.
Yeah.
Which were like really awesome.
Yeah.
And also I've been writing the most intensely vulnerable, honest work that I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And it has been brutal for me emotionally, but
Okay.
it has been,
All right. Let's take it down a notch.
yeah, dude.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
been
That's the hard stuff.
very, it's been an insane journey as an artist. Yeah, this summer I've just been really falling in love with really just writing and music in like the most intimate, like innocent and foundational way again, which, not worrying about numbers or, perception, just
Yeah.
truly just like enjoying, just like, this is my story, this is what's going on, and
Okay.
take it or
Yeah,
leave it.
Do you worry about numbers?
I mean, sometimes
It's hard.
but It's part of the game, unfortunately, but I try my best to like distance myself from it because
Yeah.
it's not healthy,
It's
and
not.
you can't control it, and you shouldn't be making anything for the outcome of it. Like if you're not making stuff because you love the process, then you're making it for the wrong reasons. I
Yeah.
think. I mean, because you can't control the outcome,
Yeah.
so you can't be doing stuff for the results, and that's just kind of like an added bonus if it reaches people, but I feel like that should never be a creative's sole intention. So I try to stay away from it as much as I can. I've like deprogrammed my mind over the
Yeah.
past few years because social media has done a number on how we share music, and it sucks in some ways and it's also cool in others how easy it is to reach people, but it's like oversaturated now, and it's feels like more of a game than just sharing art
gamble.
sometimes. Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
talked about that last time you were on the episode. The barrier to entry. So in the '90s when I was playing in a band, the barrier to entry was distribution. The challenge was you had to get a label or something because otherwise you were just literally passing music out, like
Yeah.
as many people as you can get in front of. And there's no longer that barrier. The
No.
distribution is no longer the problem.
No, it's not.
And
Everyone
so,
has access now.
yeah, and so in some ways it's kind of beautiful, but then we're humans, and what are people trying to accomplish in music with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's individual.
Yeah,
Everyone
Yeah.
has different reasons for doing it, but I think it is cool. Everyone can do it and have access to it if they want to.
Yeah.
I just don't love how the internet is kind of like the way we're supposed to share everything now. It's
Right.
just become the norm because I don't know. I mean, it works for a lot of people.
How do you feel like the live experience is? I mean, when you get out and you're actually in front of people and you
That's-
can engage that in that way.
That's still the most fun I think I have outside of like the creative process itself. I like to
Yeah.
connect with people and like
Yeah.
share music in a human way.
Yeah. Well, so sorry.
Yeah. go
No,
ahead.
I was like,
I've been
I'm
yapping.
only human. That's all I'm thinking.
So Boulevardia, you played at Boulevardia.
Yes.
And I was going to come out to that, and then I got busy. I had to do like a couple of pre-approvals, like grown up.
I
like,
already
work
wrote
type
about it in
stuff.
my journal. It's okay.
But I mean, how was it?
It was, oh my goodness. So we've done Boulevardia before. We did it 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And the first time we went, it was super overstimulating, and I felt like I had like really a lot to prove, just because it was like our band was kind of just starting to pick up traction.
Yeah.
So I went in just super intense and like, I've got to be like the performer of a lifetime, and I overdid it. Overstuck the landing.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, okay. This one was human and a lot more fun, and it was more about the crowd. It wasn't about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, y'all came to a festival to listen to music. You didn't come to a festival to necessarily, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it was genuinely just having a moment, and that's what this whole year
Yeah.
has been about. It's just been like, I just want to have more moments, more connection with people, and not be so worried about the perfectionist, which I love. That's been my journey, is like taking that perfectionism out of it. Has been really awesome. Not gonna lie, yeah. But Boulevardia was so fun. I wore it was hot as heck.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
And I wore an orange do-rag.
Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah.
Fire fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about doing the same thing. Instead of like the ball cap, like just switching to like do-rags, I feel like that'd be like a cool aesthetic.
It's nice.
So let me ask you something. When you're writing or recording, when do you start thinking about what that live presentation is going to look like or feel like? Do you ever daydream? Because I used to, man, I'd be like, man, this is going to be epic. I'm going to put my foot up on the monitor and it's going to be like, we're going to go. I mean, do you go through that?
I don't go that. Okay. Yes and no. So it's like there's a point where it's like, when I make certain songs, for example, I do this a lot in set lists, but like when I write, and I was making this last project, Feels Like, I knew that I wanted to run around. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I want to run around. I want to dance. I want to jump. I want to be in a crowd. I want to like be barefoot. I want to have a moment. Like, I don't know what it is with me and being barefoot.
Makes
I just
you
wanna
more
be-
connected to the earth.
But yeah, and then it was like also just seeing, like, I saw like in my mind, like the world I was living in, it was pretty much coded in like early 2000s, late 90s, skateboarder meets just pop rock, you know, and that was literally like the world that I created, I think, because that's the world I was living in my mind.
Yeah.
And I kind of think I got left behind, like, not gonna lie, because it's just like this new world, this new world. But no, like the music landscape now is something that I'm just now feeling comfortable in, but like,
Yeah.
I just still love everything that was just like that came before, so it makes it really hard to appreciate sometimes like the new, you know. But yeah, that's how I envisioned it.
Yeah, but like, you know, as far as like the new, we have kind of like those foundational like bands or albums or whatever that like, you know, just kind of like stick with us all the time. They
Yeah.
inspire us, and it's like a safety net. You can always go back to that and draw inspiration from it. So okay, so you did this deal, or you do this deal on YouTube where you post like your songwriting process. So I saw you met you at this deal that like the last time I played out, you know, when I thought I thought I was gonna be maybe a rock and roller again, but then I'm like, that's way more effort than I want to put into it. And so I saw you there, and then you sang. It was at the little the art place in the West Palm.
And Christmas,
Monarca.
Christmas show.
Yeah,
Moss.
Monarca.
Moss KC.
And so I was really impressed by you at that point. And then like, you got a point?
I just wanted to add that Tay said earlier in the interview that he was doing a show with me. It's the other way around. Now I'm doing a show with him.
Yeah.
And it's really freaking cool.
It is
Yeah.
cool. It came pretty much full circle.
I had to get real close for that.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. Can I move on to my point now?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I watching. So that's where I came across. I met you guys. Then I like had some deal where I was in Springfield, Missouri. You were playing in Lawrence, and like I showed up in Kansas to watch you like as you're walking off stage, right?
Yeah.
Which I had a
just
nice
missed
dinner.
it.
It was okay, and you know I'm sure I listened to some good music while I was driving.
Yeah.
But really, like my exposure to your music, really, other than that couple minutes at Monarca, has been through that series on YouTube.
That's cool.
And so, what I think is interesting is your writing process appears to be very similar to like what mine was, the way you build it and like layer it. And so, I mean, what is your process? I mean, does it in your head? Does it start with a hook? Does it start with a lyric, or does it start with a feeling? I mean, and I know this is a really vague question, but don't fuck it up.
That's fine, on the spot.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think my process is ever changing. For one, like I never go in with like a structured. Okay, I make this part, and that's gonna lead me to this section, and then I'll do this. I literally am just like, I want to make something, and I just open a blank project. And I know a lot of other artists will sometimes already have an idea ahead of time about maybe what they want to sing about or create a song about, but usually I kind of just like dump my feelings into a project and then kind of like figure out what it's about in a weird way. So it's almost like the other way around. But I usually start out like open a new project, and I grew up on piano, so I usually lay the foundations with keys, but sometimes I'll start with guitar. I mean, I'm very melodic oriented, so I like to kind of figure that out, and that helps kind of drive everything else for me, because I produce all my music, and it's fun to kind of dive into that process without having a pre-planned idea. And I'm still trying to challenge that right now and be like, I don't always have to, you know, start with piano, or maybe I could do a vocal melody, but it's different every time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Do you have a, is there a preferred, Malik, do you have a preferred instrument that you write on, or what is it?
Guitar.
Really?
Yeah, like it's the only thing I feel like I can like actually speak with. So it's definitely guitar.
What, Tay, is
piano?
You know, I took piano lessons when like everybody takes piano lessons in like third grade or whatever, and I quit. And I had I don't know if it was something associated with like the Beatles or what that I had listened to, but there was a documentary, and they were talking about how like the piano is like the instrument, like in terms of writing songs, it's like foundationally like the best one. And I was always irritated with my parents that they let me quit, because then when I started writing music, it was mostly, you know, guitar and bass. And but so a lot of times it kind of foundationally like starts on piano, and then you just kind of like layer from there. And you also you said it the second time just now when you were describing it about like letting go of just trusting the process and letting go of, you know, the
just
result.
Like any.
That's a big life theme, to be honest with you.
It is. I mean, and it's also how I feel like I create authentic stuff instead of being like, oh, like I really wanted it to sound like this. I kind of just let the song build itself, and that's how I feel like I make the best stuff usually, is by just kind of following the idea to see where it goes and pivot when it feels right. And just flow. I've learned to, when I'm in that creative state, to like try my best to stay flowing until it feels like I've reached a stopping point. Because if I get caught up on this sound choice and I'm trying to like do sound design in the middle of creating something, I feel like it can just stop the idea right there. Or, I don't know.
I think that a lot of times our stress and anxiety in any kind of process is due to like what our expectations of what it was going to be. And I think that if you can sometimes just kind of like if you can let go of what the expectation is, it like frees up creative bandwidth where we're thinking like you're not living up to whatever it is, that ideal. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And so do you Malik, do you know where you're going when you start writing a song? Or, I mean, it's the project you've got going on right now, you're saying it's like deeply personal. Like, I mean, I would assume that you're being intentional about that.
No.
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, I'm not just some random dude. I mean, so this is an example of something going someplace you didn't intend it to.
Yeah. This project was like, I would say it didn't start off intentional until I started writing, and I was like, okay, I see what I need to talk about now. Sometimes that happens, you'll start creating and you'll be like, oh, I did need to make this. And then you go, okay, I'm going to continue to do that then. And I would say for me, the process going in, I'm trying to think. I wrote a song just because I was in the really worst pain that I had been in a while. And I just freestyled. And I recorded it. And then I listened back, and it was a moment for me when I was like, whoa, I didn't think I would ever be able to talk about this in this way. And I didn't tell anyone I wrote it. And I kind of thought that no one paid attention to my YouTube. I was like, I just want to start putting songs in a place for me. And that's a part of my writing process. I have to record into a voice memo or on like a camera or something, just because when I freestyle, just because it helps me hear like the entire idea without, it's different. I like writing, but like that also helps. But yeah, I put it out, and then some of my friends who I didn't know were subscribed were like, what is this? And I was like, oh no, okay. Yeah, so this is what this is. I've got to talk about this more. And so I decided, I was like, I'm going to do something that scares me and talk about something as it happens, not post. Yeah. And this is like kind of, this project for me was the first time I think I went in a long time where it didn't start off necessarily with an intentional conversation. My usual go-to process is, like, I've written with Tay. He's kind of experienced my process, but it is dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Danny said the same thing about you on our last podcast. I think that's interesting that you start with conversations.
Yeah, I think that's what, like, song structure, songs, like, all of it feels like a conversation. I think it's really fun to do it with other people because you get outside of yourself. So I was like, when I write with like Tay or Danny, I'm just like, what's going on in your life? And I see where we align. But when I like write alone, it's actually harder because it's like I think there's 3 levels of like, there's like the you that you are when you're out in the world. There's the you that you think you should be, and then there's the you know. And I think
that's deep.
Yeah,
it's true though.
It's real. Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's like I have to sit in a room for hours, not even just writing, sometimes just getting comfortable with the environment, myself, and the situation, and just like hitting through every single barrier. And then I get to a point where I'll say something that sounds super silly, and then I'll be like, wait, but that's the best way I could have said that. And that's how it goes.
It's like I agree. I think writing alone is harder because you have to face all your feelings like head on by yourself, which can be really vulnerable depending on what you are feeling. Sometimes it's just like an easygoing thing, but especially like you're talking about with your latest project, that's more heartfelt and intimate, that can be tough to face those feelings. It's like, I mean, it's almost like revisiting, like pain or trauma and being like, it's another form of processing it, which
and
is
you gotta perform it.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, doesn't end at the writing and the recording. It's like
no, it's like you live with it forever.
And
but it's like it's cool because at least for me, I feel like although it can be a long process, like once the song is finished, it does feel like a physical release in some form. Like once you share it with the rest of the world, it's like you're done with feeling that thing. If it's like, a painful memory or like experience you went through that you package into this song, which can be
and it changes.
Healthy. It does change.
I find for me, it doesn't matter what it is, that like I am way better served by collaborating. And so like, in the 90s when I was playing, I would sit there and I'd come up with like, I was really into The Cure. And not because like I wanted to be bummed out, but just the layering of the guitars, especially on like Wish and Disintegration. It's just this epic music. And so if I was like in like my apartment or something on my own, I would come up with these like, just these really heavy things like lyrics and stuff like that. And then I would, get to band practice. My buddy Adam would be like, lighten the fuck up, dude. Like for real. And
Who
so
hurt
it was
you?
I mean, he's like, how bad is it? That like, he's like, that does not, it's going to be really hard to rock if that is like what we're doing. And so I find that it's nice to have collaboration because it like sort of takes like my edge off. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like, I want to live in the edge. I want to live on the edge. I want to be
push
the
the
edge.
boundary.
Like the reason
but-
why I say that is because people like, okay, I love depressing music. I
Yeah.
do. And I had to
need
accept
to.
it. So my dad made me feel really bad about it because like he did. No, listen. When I was a kid, I would be listening to this music, and then when I first started writing, my family would hear these songs, and he'd be like, "You ever gonna make something I can shake my ass to? Like, like, are you good? Like,
Yeah."
And then I got to a point where it's like, now I'm actually did a full circle where I kind of got away from the sad, and now I'm like getting back into it. Now you can rock with the sad.
You can. And it wasn't a
Yeah.
question. It wasn't a question so much of like sadness or gloominess. It was more specifically like I had my perspective was the only perspective being brought to the music into what was happening. And I found that no matter what I came up with, if I had somebody else be like, get involved, it was always better. That's just me. And I think that, sometimes you design or you come up with a plan or you have an idea of what you're going to be as a performer or something like that. And it can be very you-centric.
I think, I think collaboration is healthy and exposes you to new perspective, which can be really beneficial because I feel like sometimes when you make a song, you can only see it in that one way that you created it. It's hard to like second guess yourself sometimes in that sense. So when you bring someone else into the process, they can shine like a new light on it and be like, well, what if you did this like that instead? And you're like, oh, like I didn't think about that. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I agree. I think collaboration can be a really beneficial tool.
I won't lie to you. I'm on the polar opposite right now.
Yeah, takes all kinds to make a world.
What I mean is that because I actually agree with all of that. But I think I've done like the end where now it is. I want to do the writing alone because I need to hear my perspective again.
Yeah.
And I think that's like where it's like, I wanna know like where you at, like what's happening. Like sometimes people need your perspective, regardless of like where it lies or where it ends up. I do love the collaborative process, but now it's like I want to collaborate in a different way. And that's kind of where it's like I don't necessarily want to. I don't want you to tell me how to tell the story. I want you to help me get the sound that helps elevate the story.
Yeah,
that's a big thing for me right now.
Yeah, I had so I do. A couple weeks ago, I did this a social media post. It was like a mortgage related social media post. And I put I sat there for like 20 minutes, like on the couch next to my wife. And I put it all together and I'm like, hey, will you read this? And she's like, I'm not reading that book. I'm like,
what is with that?
I'm like, you're not reading that book. But she was like, that's going to be sappy. She's like, I see something wrong like that on social media. I'm like, that's going to be sappy. And so I was kind of like a little hurt because, listen, if she's not going to support me, who's going to support me? But then I started thinking about it and I was like, I'm going to go back in and look at it. And it kind of forced me to like, I came up with a better post. Do you know what I mean? But like in my head, it's like, man, the world just needs all this.
Yeah.
And so for
But
me, that's an example.
Maybe
of,
you needed that though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I needed was her to be like, to say that. So, because I was just so wrapped up in my process and just so,
For sure.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say one thing that I did that like surprised the heck out of me with the creative process was there was one song where I said I need to not make sense. It needs to be completely abstract. I don't want to be understood by anyone except for me. And it was like such a weird process because, you know, as a songwriter, I think that's the battle of like, is what I'm saying makes sense to me, doesn't make sense to the listener.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, I wonder what would happen if I didn't necessarily prioritize that with this one project. And it was like, honestly, the most cathartic thing because I ended up writing what I thought was abstract. And then I played it for a friend and they were like, every part, all of it, existential, like it all hits, you know?
People perceive stuff differently.
Yeah.
That's what I think is cool is like you can make something that for you is abstract, but for someone else, they perceive it in a completely different way. Like music is always going to be a very situational thing for everyone, for the listener, for the creator. And I don't think anyone will ever see it in the same way because we all have a different relationship with it, which is cool.
And so with music, do you focus, how important are the lyrics to you versus the music?
So when I first started, and even now sometimes I kind of listen to like the melody first, like almost like the instrumental section of the song, and that will tell me right away if I like it or not. And then from then I'm kind of pulled into lyrics. But lately I've been on the opposite side of that. I've been trying to prioritize the lyrics and like really get better at storytelling because I think sometimes I would be so driven by the melody of the song that I would be just trying to fit into it instead of like share the thing I wanted to talk about. So I still make the melody first, but I'm prioritizing storytelling right now.
And you know, as I get older, I value storytelling in music more than what I used to. Like it was not like I for me, it's always the music. Like the lyrics are like completely secondary. When I was writing music, I hated it because I thought all my lyrics were shit. So it wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but for me, it's always been the music. But as I've gotten older, I've found myself listening to lyrics to things that 20 years ago I wouldn't even have liked that music. And if you think about it, whether you like their style or not, there is somebody on the other end of that production who is pouring their heart into it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
that's exactly why I love lyrics because like I think oh my goodness, like it's almost like you ever want to see me like just like wig out, have a good lyric and a good melody, it's over. Like it's over.
That's
like
a good song.
It's a good song, and like I actually have had moments where like I've probably scared some friends because I'm just like, do you hear this?
No,
do you get it?
You don't understand. What
like
this
no.
is.
They just like did something like.
So actually, let me ask you that. Okay, there's a couple music related things. First thing I want to ask you is where did you shoot Masquerade?
Oh, at
Yeah.
That's a fun song.
That's my favorite song.
What is the mansion called? It's out in.
Is it here in Kansas City?
Yeah, it's in
Banger.
Kansas City. It's
Banger. Banger.
Yeah, he really likes that song. I do too. It's probably my favorite I have out, but man, I can't remember the name. I can pull it up.
But it was here in Kansas City.
It was here in Kansas City.
Okay.
It was was it Bonner Springs?
Okay.
I can't remember, but it's this old Victorian mansion that's been around since the 1800s, and I was putting together the video idea with my friend, and the song was already called Masquerade, and we're like, what if we threw a masquerade party? And I was like, dude, wait, that's a great idea, actually. So we looked around for some suitable places, and I was on Peerspace and stumbled across a Victorian mansion. I was like, that's so perfect. And you can rent it out. And we shot it there. I invited a bunch of people, whoever wanted to come, and we set up the shoot. And
did you do it in a day, like a night?
We did it in 4 hours, actually. Because it was expensive. So,
right. Okay. And
so and I had to pay my videographer and editor too, and like, you know, buy food for everyone and drinks. So
It was cool.
it was a production.
I wasn't there, but like it looked cool.
It was very fun. It went a lot better than I expected. And one of my friends like brought his whole DJ set out, and it was like actually a real party. So it wasn't like we were just acting like it, like everyone was.
Isn't it amazing how powerful like the energy that you get when your friends like invest in you? Do you know what I mean?
It
It hit different.
It feels good. I think for me as an artist, it makes me feel seen because this is a important thing for me. And so when my friends get on board with it, it just makes me feel like I'm part of something. Like I like the communal aspect of music a lot. That's definitely a driving force. But it's cool. Yeah.
I won't lie. Like I think when you're a musician, it's really hard to filter like through the compliments that mean things to you. And I think when your friends, like it's cool when your friends say, "Oh, I like your song," but when your friends like are like
show up for you,
like they show up, and then not only are they showing up, they're like, "No, like this key part," and they'll explain like, "Go deep."
Yeah.
If my friend is like, "I love how this song you hit this chord and it represented a heartbreak," and I'm like, "Oh, you really do mess with it."
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's interesting. So you write a song, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've spent like, you know, weeks or months or whatever, and like now you're like putting it together as like the finished product. And there is something in that song. It could be like a couple beats, it could be a measure, it could be a lyric, it could be some detail that you obsess over and you're really super proud of it.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets it, right?
Mm-mm.
And so, like, how does that? Is that supposed to let me know I got 10 minutes? Okay, because it was blank. Anyway, so how do you process that? Like, when you like, are you content with it on your own, or do you just really want people to be like, hey, that thing was cool?
Okay. I always want them to be like, it's cool.
Yeah,
but
I'm
they
the same
never
way.
do.
I'm the same way.
No, literally, like I would like. There has been songs where like I will like turn up the part that I want them to hear while they're listening to it. I'm like, do you hear it? And then like I just kind of like, oh, that's a cool song, and I will say that like a completely other part, which lets you know it's subjective. But I think for me, it actually kind of makes it feel like my own personal world when I know why I like it, because it's like, oh, it's mine. You don't even know why. And like usually when people ask me like why I like a song, it's never really what they expect it to be.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that I listen to. I mean, there's like a Scorpion song called Rhythm of Love, and there's this like weird reverb part where the guitar hits, and then there's just like, it's just reverb. It just bounces back one time. And it's just like really goofy detail, but like every time I hear it, I'm like, hell yeah. And I wonder, did that guitar player, did he realize that? You know, because that's the flip side of it. There could be something that you simply did in passing, that somebody latches onto, right? Because music is about, you know, what they experience.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I definitely want people to tell me it's cool.
Like,
but I'm also learning how to just like enjoy it for myself, because I'm like, again, like I said earlier, you can't make stuff for the outcome, because you can't ever know what it's going to be. But if it does come, it's cool. But I think living for external validation can be a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
There's that part. Living for the external validation can be dangerous.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, but it's human nature to some degree. If you're going to put yourself in the market the way that we do, you know, whether it's music or a podcast or being a loan officer or something like that, you want to be recognized, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes though, I will say people help me realize what actually is like what I think is not great. They'll make sometimes other people's perspective help me see my work differently.
Yeah.
So it's like my roommate. There's a song off of my first album that I completely was ready to trash, and because I was going to delete all of it from streaming platforms, and they got so passionate. They were like, "No, do not get rid of this song." And I was like, "You really like this song?" And they were like, "You don't?" And then they went down, like gave me a TED talk about why it was a cool song. And I'm like, maybe you're right. Maybe this is a cool song. And it just helped me see it like differently, because in the moment when I was recording it, I remember it being like loving it. But then it's like you get older as a musician and your tastes change. You kind of forget like why you like your work.
You know, it's friends are just the best, right?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, me, if anytime I'm dealing with any kind of struggles or I'm bummed out or blue, just any kind of blahs, the best thing for me to do is just like go out and find like friends to be around, even if it's just for a couple minutes. Okay, so I just want to touch a base again. So August 2nd.
Yes.
Where give me the deets on the show again?
It's at Minibar. The doors open at 7.
Where's Minibar?
Minibar's on Broadway Boulevard.
Yeah, I mean, in case somebody doesn't know where Minibar
I have a flyer here.
Okay. Well, Okay. He's
I
gonna get
would
us far.
say August 2nd, I'm really excited to be doing this because this is going to be like, so when Tay did my show with Monarca,
Yeah.
I challenged him to do something like kind of different from what he had done before, where he played like just live instruments in all of his music live. And this time I'm kind of doing something, I'm kind of doing the same thing where his show is just about this otherworldly experience. And just because I've been in this place where I've been in such a indie rock place, I am actually going to be outside of my world. So I'm going to be like doing all the new material acoustically.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that in at all.
Yeah,
So-
but you're gonna bring your voice, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
he'll
that's
show
the thing
up.
about like. I mean, I do not like acoustic music. I don't.
Yeah,
But
it could be rough.
But that experience that I had in Monarca with you, like, I've said this before. I was jacking around on my phone, and you were singing, and you just like hit a note, and it was like that video game thing where I moved in. Like I wanted. It was like very impressive. So
Thank you.
Okay, so I do have, and I don't mean to be rude, but I have a couple last things I kind of want to get to.
for sure.
All right, so if you had to like remove one from existence, would it be Radiohead or the Killers?
The Killers. I love Radiohead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like my favorite band.
The Killers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how cinematic Radiohead's music is. It's crazy. It's very complex, especially after I've learned to play a few of their songs.
Yeah.
I feel like I can get into their head, and I also grew up on it, so I
Right.
have like a personal relationship with it that I share with my dad. So that's
Okay.
like,
I think I think writing wise, like this lyrically, I
Oh,
think it
yeah.
like they ventured into something that was extremely vulnerable and honest
and different.
and different.
The way like Tom York flows on a lot of the songs is
Yeah.
not syncopated. He always he just floats on top of a lot of the songs, and it's a different style.
So I'm
think.
gonna disagree.
That's okay.
But when I was
So
your
we all have wrong opinions.
when I was your age though, when I was your age, I would have answered the same way that you guys did.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think the Bends. That second album is like one of the great like guitar rock albums of all time. You listen into headphones and there is just like, what is his name? Is it Johnny Greenwood? Is that the lead guitar player? It's just amazing. And then OK Computer is amazing, but like I got to think about this, and so for me, like that, it was those two albums that like really spoke to me.
Yeah.
But when we go back to like that songwriter, like that storyteller, I mean, Brandon Flowers to me, if you watch him live, he assumes that character like so well. And in fact, when you like hop off the stage, normally when people do that, an artist does that, I get like, I think it's like a little cringy, but like you carry, like you have like the charisma to pull it off in the same way. So anyway, okay. All right. So,
Adrenaline.
okay. None of the, listen, we don't have to hold like the universe to
confidence.
whatever we come up with here. So, okay. All right. Next thing. So what would you want more of? Do you want more energy or you want more inspiration?
Ooh, I like that question.
More energy. Those are the choices.
What do you feel like you need more of right now? More energy or more inspiration?
Personally, more energy, just at the state of life I'm in right now. It's kind of weird. And I feel like there's never totally a lack of inspiration. I mean, it's all around you,
Yeah.
honestly. I think you can go through stages, and if this were a different day, I might say the opposite, but
Yeah.
definitely energy for me right now. I'm tired, man.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
No matter rain or thunder, I'm gonna be shaking ass regardless. So I'm gonna bring the energy. I guess I always love inspiration.
Yeah.
That's a really hard one. I would say inspiration because I feel like energy comes from within.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say inspiration because I want to be inspired by like different and weird things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to emphasize different and weird things because
Okay.
I don't want to do something that's just like, yeah.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. I mean, for me, it's energy. I
Yeah.
think there's so much inspiration. I find inspiration, so easily in places now, in things I don't expect it. But I get tired. Like I'm 50, man. It's like I'm tired. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then so here's kind of the last question for you. Do you find it more fulfilling to be mentored to or mentor to somebody else as a musician, as an artist?
I think they're fulfilling in different ways. Because we both are teachers, actually,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
Outside of just our own music. But
Wait, you're a teacher? I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. I teach piano and guitar, actually. But I love getting to see the joy in other people when I'm helping them learn something that they take interest in. That's a different kind of fulfillment than when someone is teaching me something and I'm like, oh, like, dang, like I didn't know that, and I just come into a new wave of understanding and inspiration. But I think they're both pretty fulfilling, honestly. I don't know if I could pick one over the other.
Okay.
Personally.
Malik?
But
I'm going to pick mentor. I want to mentor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to mentor. I want to mentor. But the reason why is because just for me personally, I very rarely meet people who understand the entirety of me and know how to mentor me as such.
Okay.
You know, which is kind of actually a really hard thing to come to terms with. But I love teaching other people because when I speak about what I'm passionate about, and I think I'm able to give some of that energy to like whomever I am mentoring, just because I know that in this world, when you meet a lot of serious mentors, it can kind of turn you off sometimes because it's like, I don't necessarily want to be you.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's just like, I don't want you to want to be me. I just want you to be you. And I want to show you how exciting it can be to find that.
I think so. For me, like, I want to mentor, but I need to be mentored. So anyway, hey, I'm Robert Beal. You've just sat through an episode of the Bealcast. If you enjoyed this, like, share, comment. If you know anybody interesting who has an interesting space that might enjoy us like coming and visiting, that would be cool. Otherwise, I would like to thank Tay Dreamin. I would like to thank Malek Azareal. You guys had a good time?
yeah,
It was the absolute blast of a time for me.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
fun. It was
I
a
like
lot
to
of
like
fun.
you see the suspense. I just want
Yeah,
to
no, I mean, I guess that's the answer I wanted. All right, we're good. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.